Oba Femi, what do they got going on for the man? Now I know, they're doing their weekly rounds of Chat GPT autopilot booking for him. He's gonna have open challenges after. But here's the thing: the dude retired Brock Lesnar, and I say actually, see Gunther, he doesn't retire people. He just so happens to be their last opponent on their matches, but. Legit to retired Brock Lesnar because Brock Lesnar that was a shoot retirement and Paul Heyman didn't know about it and nobody else knew about it. Triple H didn't know about it and he got upset because he was going to originally have Brock Lesnar job to Gunther and then Gunther still do nothing on weekly TV because he was John's last match, Goldberg's last match, AJ Styles' last match, and then after that, during WrestleMania season, he was gone for 30 days, 28 days, 30 days, a month. It doesn't matter. That's not how you capitalize on someone trying to be the quote-unquote career killer. But what I'm saying is, he was Brock Lesnar's last match, and open challenges weekly, every single week, just open challenges, so what that tells me is they got nothing for the man. So they had that. So yeah, I mean, what I've heard was that Triple H wanted to do a trilogy between Brock and Oba Femi, but still, Brock's gone. You should probably have something for Oba Femi. Now, Oba Femi was the 7th most searched WWE superstar worldwide on Google in April 2026, which is kind of cool. Very cool. But since then, just open challenge. So now he's going to give Aquaman an open challenge. He's going to give Green Lantern an open challenge. He's going to give Vince McMahon an open challenge. He's going to give Shane McMahon an open challenge. Hornswoggle. We're going to see Boogeyman. We're going to see Zilla Fatu. We're going to see all of these people, have Mike Chioda, best referee of all time. We're going to have him do an open challenge. Hell, Chris Van Vliet might have an open challenge. Delise Salcedo might have an open challenge. Or Thunder Rosa might have an open challenge. All these people might, all these people might answer Oba Femi's open challenge. And then what? Is he just going to be, weekly squash? Well, Oba Femi, we want him to be a big star, but, we don't really have anything for him. Hey, Jack GPT, what you got for us? Yeah, well, open challenge? All right, bet. Let's do it. And then Triple H says, he approves it. And then, okay, cool. Hey, Oba, no story yet, but we're just going to have you squash somebody. So it's just a weekly squash. Weekly squash, man. Every single week. At some point, it's like, okay, cool. We just come out here to see him have a match under like 5 minutes, and then what? The dude was, he literally retired Brock Lesnar. So, it's interesting to me. Just no creativity behind Oba whatsoever, and the dude just got there. Now, of course, people are going to try to cope and say, well, to be fair, open challenges for like 2 years with Oba, yeah, like that's, you just got to look at the positives, be patient, they're going to cook. They said the same thing about the New Day. They said the same thing about the Wyatts. They said the same thing about Tommaso Ciampa. They said the same. So I'm not being patient no more. I'm not, because once we're patient, it either goes nowhere or goes somewhere very slowly to the point where we don't care anymore. Or WWE just drops the storyline entirely. For example, Adam Pearce first had this phone call thing when, they dropped the storyline completely of Adam Pearce on Raw having the storyline with somebody on the phone. Okay, now we'll just give it to Randy. Okay, but that's just going to be Pat McAfee. Okay, and now we're going to have Jacob Fatu talking to somebody on the phone. Same garbage. I don't know, like people with this delusional false hope, not false hope, this over exuberance when it comes to their hope. You got to think how pathetic it is and how delusional it is, not because they have hope, but because they get mad at you when you don't have the hope. And then once you're right about not being optimistic, then they go quiet. It's just, it's crazy to me. Every single week I talk about people being misused because I'm like, yeah, well, they're probably going to get released soon. I was, and then, people in the comments are like, well, let's hear you talk about something positive. What is there to be positive about? You got people putting their bodies on the line, the company not doing anything with them, the company wasting them, then they get fired. What's positive about that? People just want me to just fake positivity. When somebody loses their job and it's not their fault, that's not really something to be positive about. Like, I'd rather be a hater than, one of these fake shills who just spew opinions of other people who don't even mean it, just so I can get free sponsorships and tickets, hell, a free game of 2K, all that garbage. Then what? If my opinion means nothing, then what the hell is the point of this channel? I don't understand. People just want to hear positivity, but then they see negativity. That's reality, because not everything, you're not going to like everything you hear. So when I hear people say, well, to be fair, bro, you got to give Oba some chance. You got to give Oba a chance. Oba Femi doesn't have any time because he was Brock's last match. There is no time. We are not supposed to be seeing months and months and months of open challenges after he retired Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania with no follow up after that, but some open challenges. That's not acceptable. And the fact that people think that's acceptable, that just goes to show how much they really care about what they watch, which is zero. They just want to see moves and high spots, and that's it. The storyline, well, to be fair, they always start off, well, to be fair, and then they're always wrong. I remember it was a match between Apollo Crews and Giovanni Vinci, and I said, well, I'm not gonna lie, Giovanni kind of deserves better considering that he's got repackaged, but he just lost twice in a row to Apollo Crews, and I say, yeah, it's not looking like he's gonna be around for too much longer. And people are like, you're hating. Just let them cook. To be fair, dude was gone. Fired. Hell you talking about? People just never really want to be realistic. It seems like whenever the truth isn't what they want to hear, it's a lie and you're hating. That's not, like, come on, dude. Whenever you're the realistic one, you're seen as a negative one. If I say, well, the sky is blue, and somebody's like, no, and then they don't want it to be true, then you're a hater. No, I'm clearly looking at the sky as blue, and they're like, no, man, it's yellow. It's blue. Stop hating, bro. It's yellow. Oh, here's my favorite thing. When you like two things, but you like one more. So, for example, you like pancakes, I like waffles. And I say, yeah, I want some pancakes. I'm not in the mood for waffles. And they're like, so are you saying you hate pancakes? Are you saying, no. Two things can be true at once. Two things can be true at once. Oba Femi can have a lot of potential, and the company doesn't know what to do with him. That's just the truth. For them to have open challenge, it was like weekly open. The dude went out there and declared an open challenge. And it's funny because they did the same thing with Brock Lesnar. They had nothing for Brock Lesnar whatsoever. So they're okay, well, we'll just have a match, at WrestleMania. And then Brock apparently handpicked Oba Femi. So he handpicked Oba Femi, and then, he said, well, we're not going to do this thing when our job out to Gunther, and then y'all don't even have anything for Gunther afterwards. Because John Cena did the same thing. He tapped out to Gunther, and then Gunther went on to have nothing. Just, it was some of the most inconsistent booking I've seen in so long. He's almost losing matches to Dragon Lee, but dude, he just squashed a dude and just hung him like Brody King on the rope. So I'm just not, I don't know, man, but... Man, it's just weird to me how people just accept anything. Like people's standards are in hell. Like they're lower than low, man. You might screw around and hit some oil with how low their standards are. It's so sad. It's like when you're not delusional, you're a hater. What is hate and what is what is hate and what is concern? Like over time, hate has definitely lost its meaning because it means player hating. But now it's just, hey, you say something that hurts my feelings, you're a hater. That's not what it means. If I say that they have nothing for Oba Femi, that's not an opinion. That's a fact. People will look at reality and it's like, it's not really exactly what I want to be true. So they'll just say, well, I respect your opinion. It's not an opinion that Oba Femi's had open challenges because they had nothing for him. That's not an opinion, but it's whatever. Too many dummies. Reality just doesn't exist to people. It's crazy. So next Monday and the Monday after that. You know, are we gonna have open challenges more? And then hell, like I would like to see a storyline happen from an open challenge. You know, probably a storyline, you know, come about from an open challenge or something like that. But we'll see. Probably that story will last 2 years, and then we'll finally get the payoff by the time nobody cares. But hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully they got something for Oba. But I said this at WrestleMania. And open challenge, open challenge, open challenge, open challenge. You get a match. 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 3,000, 3,000 sold to that person over there. They get a match. 3,000. Okay, 4,000, 5,000. You get a match. You get a match. It's ridiculous. Is Barry Allen going to get a match now? Is Oliver Queen going to get a match now? Is he going to tell Oba, you failed this city? Like, come on, bro. Is Steve Lacy going to get a match now? Destroy Lonely going to get a match now? Is the Kid Season going to get a match now? Is Surge going to get a match now? Is Travis Barker going to get a match now? Is Asking Alexandria going to get an open challenge match one by one? Is Corey Taylor going to get his open match challenge now? Who's going to answer these open challenges? Bro, I don't know, bro. I don't know. But it is what it is. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, actually, I am going to say that. I don't have any hope for how they're going to handle Oba Femi because they got Joe Hendry in the tag division now, but the dude's like not a tag star. So I don't know. We shall see, though. We shall see.